Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. And welcome to Saturday. It is the weekend. I hope you've gotten through all your goals for the week, gotten all those boxes checked. And if you haven't, perhaps you have a little bit more time left to get through them. Today's message, it comes from Stoic philosophy, some Stoic wisdom for you today. Beatrix, good morning. Happy Saturday morning to you. Stoic philosophy has really been making a comeback for probably the last 10 years or so. It often pops up in social media, so I wouldn't be surprised if you've read quite a bit of Stoic philosophy over the last couple of years. Charlene, good morning. Happy Saturday morning. Great seeing you. The Stoic school of thought got its start around the 3rd century BCE in Greece with Zeno. Zeno was the father of Stoic philosophy. But it really is when it hit Rome that it gained prominence. Every time I encounter Stoic philosophy, it feels very similar to Buddhism or Taoism to me. And if you read through it, if you have a bit of knowledge or understanding of Buddhism and Taoism, you'll see how similar the European, Greek and Roman Stoic philosophy is to this Eastern Buddhism or Taoism. Sunmari, good morning. Happy Saturday. Stoicism is a school of philosophy that emphasizes rationality, practical wisdom, self-control, and virtue. Stoics believed that by living in accordance with nature and reason, individuals could find happiness and lead fulfilling lives. Stoicism teaches that one should focus on what is within their control and accept what is outside of their control. This is probably the foundation of Stoicism, is some things are within your control, focus on them and get good at those. And most things are without your control. Learn how to become unattached to what's outside of your control. And that is really very much the same as Buddhism or Taoism. This means that one should not become overly attached to external goods or circumstances, as they are often beyond our control, but instead focus on developing our inner strength and character. The Stoics also believed in the importance of ethical behavior and the pursuit of moral excellence. They held that living a virtuous life, which involved acting with courage, wisdom and justice, and self-control, that this was the key to happiness and a meaningful existence. My 3 favorite dudes in the Stoic world are Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus. And I'll read you a quote from each, but obviously this is not even scratching the surface. These are just 3 quick thoughts. And you do yourself a favor to just do a search for Stoic philosophy and see what comes up. A thought from Seneca says, "To bear misfortunes with a tranquil mind robs hardship of its strength and weight." A thought from Marcus Aurelius says, "The universe is in constant change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." And a thought from Epictetus says, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." You could have great possessions, but if your wants are many, you're not wealthy and not happy. But if you have few wants, then it's easy to have enough. To recap all of these in one thought, like what Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus was saying in one sentence is, things are going to keep happening because the universe is in a constant state of change. And what makes you happy is not having what you want, but wanting what you have. How in the world do we get better at this? How do we become more okay with the fact that things are going to keep happening outside of our control and that the only road to our sanity is to be completely unattached to the outcome and simply choose how we want to respond to this. How do we get better at this? We have to give ourselves a bit more practice in sitting and watching things happen while being okay with what is happening. I know this might sound really simplistic, but it's something that most of us struggle to do. Today's meditation journey is an exercise in just being the witness. Allow whatever is busy happening to be felt and to be totally okay with it. This doesn't mean that we refrain from taking action, but it does mean that we change the reason why we take action. If I'm not okay with what's happening, then by default I'm in a fear response. And my likely action is to be reactive then. Not by choice, not a decision made in free will, but by my own survival patterns. Even while I think I am in control, it's really just years of programming that compels me into a knee-jerk reaction. Nala, a very good morning. Happy Saturday. Great to see you. But if I am okay with what's happening, then I'm more likely to be dominant in my parasympathetic nervous system. If I'm okay with what's happening, I'm more likely to be calm, open, with access to all of my creative problem-solving faculties. When I'm able to take a deep breath, slow down, then it's not an old pattern choosing my reaction. I'm exercising free will in choosing what my response will be. Being okay with whatever is happening is not a case of never taking action, but of never taking action in fear. I will not flail around in desperation. I will breathe, I will slow down, I will wait, and I will see. And as soon as I have more clarity, I will swim with strong and clear strokes. Michelle, good morning. Happy Saturday. So if you're ready, today's meditation, as always on a Saturday, is come to your senses, which is a practice in sitting and watching things happen, and finding that we have a choice in how we respond to things happening. We can have a knee-jerk reaction, which means we're just being controlled by our own old patterns, or we can take a deep breath and wait for wisdom to be illuminated before we take action. You can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. Our journey today is a journey of checking in with this body, witnessing the experience that this body is having, and teaching ourselves to be okay with the experience that this body is having. So let's start that checking in with this body right now. As you take your next big breath, and as you exhale, and as your body softens, bring your attention to your forehead, to the space between your eyes. Do you sometimes find yourself carrying a frown there? And when you do you remind yourself to soften? With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to the area in and around your mouth. Do you perhaps sometimes find yourself grinding your teeth, or your tongue pressed hard against the roof of your mouth, or your jaw muscles clenched tightly? And if you do you then have a conversation with this body? Do you let this body know that it would be safe to soften? With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your neck and shoulders. Do you perhaps sometimes find your shoulders tight and pulled up high, almost up to the level of your ears? And when you do you remember to take a few big breaths, roll out your shoulders, and help those muscles soften? With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your stomach area, to your abdominal muscles, the place where tension hides most effectively. Do you sometimes realize that your abs are being held tightly? And do you then have a conversation with this body? Do you let this body know that it would be safe to soften? And lastly, bring your attention to your legs and your arms, and especially your hands. another place where tension can hide without us realizing. Tightly clenched fists. For the moment, are your hands lying half open, relaxed in your lap? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, continuing to help this body stretch, adjust, and settle down. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. A deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And lean your upper body over to the right. Deep breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips in and how softness settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, Follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, take a moment to acknowledge this body, this vehicle that has been carrying you through this world. Perhaps even wrap your arms around this body and say, "Hello, body. I really love having you." Take your next big breath. The journey of our senses starts at the top with our eyes and then works its way through our body. The question is, if you were to open your eyes, because for this exercise we keep them closed, but if you were to open your eyes, what would be the most obvious thing you would see in the room that you are in? And now with your eyes closed, use your mind to see this obvious object. Study it from all of its angles, see all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. we'll change gears. We're still staying with what you can see, but this time the question is, if you were to open your eyes, what would be the least obvious object you'd see? Take a moment to find something kind of hidden. And then as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, study this less obvious object. See it from all of its angles, see all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. Notice your ability to witness the experience your body is having. And practice this question. Practice using this question in all experiences. Can I just watch the experience? Can I just observe what is happening? Could you see yourself asking this question in all experiences? We're not asking to never do anything, but for the moment, for this moment, can I just watch the experience and be okay with this? Let's keep practicing. The next is your ears and what you can hear. And put this to practice. Can you just watch the experience? As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, the question is, what is the loudest sound you can hear? Can you listen deep into this obvious sound? And could you perhaps find all the different layers of vibration in this obvious sound? But more importantly, can you just be the observer that notices the sound without needing to do anything else? Take your next big breath. We'll change gears a little bit. Bring your attention to the faintest sound you can hear. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, search for something that's barely a whisper and see how much of it you can hear. Take your next big breath. Now, if I can be okay during this experience, if I can be the witness, seeing what my body is experiencing, and if I can be okay, then I can ask the next question: is there something for me to do here? Do I need to take action? And the truth is that for the most part, there are so many things that we go through, that we experience, that doesn't require any of our action. And then, can I take a step away from this? Can I continue just witnessing without the urge to react? Let's keep practicing this. We'll take another step down to your nose, and for the next 2 stops, your nose and your mouth, change your breathing to whatever it needs to be for you to witness the experience. So bring your attention to what you can smell. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, see if you can notice any obvious smell right now. Take your next big breath. And let's change gears with your next big breath as you dive deep into you, or whatever you choose to do with your breathing. See if you can notice any other smell, anything besides the first obvious smell, and witness your body's experience. Take your next big breath. So if I can witness my body's experience, if I can be okay with this, if I can be okay just witnessing, then I can ask the question, is there something for me to do here? Do I need to take action? And I'll probably find that most of the time, no. Most of the time, be the observer. But then sometimes the answer is, take action. Here is something that needs to be done. How would you like to approach the taking action if there is something that needs to be done? Our next stop is your mouth and what you can taste. And this one's hard to do without something to bite into. So bring your curiosity. Be curious. Would you be able to taste anything? Try it. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, what is the obvious taste that you experience? And just be the witness. Take your next big breath. Let's change gears, and this time be curious enough to ask yourself the question, could I find any other taste? Is there possibly a second taste to find as well? Take your next big breath and witness. Being the witness of what is happening. This is our exercise today. Being the witness of what is happening gives us access to space. It is the space that Viktor Frankl spoke about in his very famous quote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space." And it's in this space that we find our freedom. It's in this space that we find free will. Now, if there is action to be taken, which part of you would you like to take the action? Programming? Any of the old patterns? Knee-jerk reaction? Overreacting? Because if we don't find space first, then all of our actions are controlled by programming. But if you find space first, if you can be okay to be the witness for the moment, and if wisdom tells you that yes, here is an action to take, then your spaciousness, your observer, gives you the potential to ask for wisdom. If I need to act, what is the action that is needed? And help me with the courage to take this action. We've got one more stop left, one more chance to practice just being the witness. Bring your attention to the surface of your skin. Scan your skin from top to bottom. See if you can find where in your skin is the most obvious sensation. And then witness all of the pressure and sensation in this obvious spot. Just witness. Take your next big breath. And for the last time, as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, bring your attention to an area of your skin with the slightest sensation. Perhaps you can just feel fabric rest on skin, or just feel the air touch your face. Take your next big breath. Take one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time the Stoic wisdom from our three teachers this morning. A thought from Seneca says, "To bear misfortunes with a tranquil mind robs hardship of its strength and weight." A thought from Marcus Aurelius says, "The universe is constant change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." And Epictetus says, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." A summary of all of these sounds like things are going to keep happening because the universe is in a constant state of change. And what makes you happy does not come from having what you want, but happiness comes from wanting what you have. How do we apply this? How do we get better at this? The exercise is today's meditation journey. Is to give ourselves the space to practice sitting and watching things happen while being okay with what is happening. This is a tall order. This is hard to do, but it's also why few people find peace and happiness. Can you practice giving yourself the space to sit and watch things happen while being okay with what is happening? And I want to reiterate this. This is not to always be hands-off and never take action. But it's only in this practice that we realize how much energy we waste trying to control things that we should not be trying to control. The foundation of Stoic philosophy. And often we don't get to properly take action where we should because we're wasting so much energy on everything we shouldn't. If you can get better at watching what's happening while being okay with what's happening, if you can get better at asking the question, is there something for me to act on, or should I just let it go? If you get better at coming to the conclusion of when action should be taken, then perhaps the next practice is, if wisdom makes it clear that action is needed, then practice taking decisive action. Because while all of this is a jumble, we often have one foot in action and one foot in inaction. We only get better at this if we stop wasting our effort on things we shouldn't control. And then when it's time to take action, have both feet in action and take decisive action when that's what wisdom says to do. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you and invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this exercise of learning how to be the witness of what my body experiences. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to stop and ask the question, can I be okay with this? Can I just be okay with whatever this is without feeling the compulsion to either run, hide, numb, or overreact? Take a deep breath in. Thank you for becoming a lot clearer about the many things to let go and the few things to take action on. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for getting better at taking decisive action when that is what is needed. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Wisdom is to be found in our ability to balance the paradoxes of life. Inaction, non-action, and action. It's such a paradox. It's what the Serenity Prayer is about. Where do I let go? Where do I take action? We can't formulate one rule that always guides us to know when to let things go and when to take action, which is why the Serenity Prayer asks in the 3rd verse for wisdom. The wisdom to be able to balance this paradox. When to let things go, when to take action. And all of the ancient teachers told us that take a step back and observe. That's where your wisdom will come from. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Nella. Thank you, Beatrix. Thank you, beautiful humans. Have a great day. See you soon. Ciao.